Hello everybody, Fighting Crypto here once again inside of the German engineered vehicle. So eventually I'll do this again, we'll say it in the office or in the house. But for now, it's kind of cozy out here. So we'll hang out and let's talk a little bit of crypto. So what I want to talk about today is if I put in $1,000 today, how would I move forward with the bull market? And I see a lot of these kind of videos, and typically, all power to them, they usually shill or talk about their own crypto, which again, that's fair. Do it, talk about it. They're probably good. Makes it easy to learn more about it. However, that's not what I'm doing today. I'm actually putting in $1,000, or did a couple days ago, into the market, and I'm doing this for somebody else. So not financial advice for anybody. And I want to go over a little bit of why I chose what I did, what the goal is, really is how am I entering in the market right now with what type of risk aversion, and try to make some things move, because it's not too late to enter the market. And this is how this whole thing started anyways. A friend of mine asked me if it's too late to get into crypto, and generally no, it's not. But what you can expect to get from it is definitely dwindling like every week or so. So it's not too late, but what your goals are, or what they realistically, in my opinion, could be now versus had you got in a year ago, are vastly different. So with that in mind, I'm going to jump right into it. But first, if you find this stuff interesting or useful, please press the subscribe button. It really does help out a small channel like myself. Press the like button, ring the little ding thing so you get notifications when I'm talking. And feel free to let me know any thoughts you have below in the comment section. I do read them, and I probably respond to them more often than I should. So, one, I got to put down a couple of little ground rules, I guess I'll call this, because I already can hear people in the comments or on Twitter saying, well, why'd you choose that one? This is so much better to do it. Is goals. What your goals, expectations, time frame, all that stuff matters a lot. And you need to have a plan when you go into any type of market or business. And I really think you should look at investing as such. So things I was going with this is I put in $1,000 in, and the goal is simply to, as safely as possible, 5x. And I know when I've talked about this kind of thing with people before, 5x or 10x, I was like, it's crypto. Like 25x, 50x, what are you talking about? Why only 5x? Well, everyone talks about that 10x, 25x, 50x, 100x. Did you ever ask any of those people talk about if they've done it? Because everyone throws out a different number of success, right? Like 99% of people lose money in this, or 99.9%, or 90%. I don't think anyone's actually done the research, or if there's, everyone's looking at different stats. But we do know that most people lose in this market. So if you really think it's that easy to get a 10x, why haven't you and everyone else done it, right? Odds are it's probably you just got in too late, made emotional decisions, or you haven't done your research and you're following people verbatim for what they said. So I'm not doing any of that. So don't take everything I have today as advice. Please don't. But look into it, and if you understand at least why I'm doing it, figure out how you want to do it for yourself. So the way I did this is, one, I'm going very relatively risk adverse because I don't want to lose money for anybody else, let alone for myself, right? I did not buy any coins for them that I already owned. I did that to keep my own emotion out of it as much as possible because I want to keep their stuff separate from mine. So the crypto that I got for them are ones that I know a lot about, that I would own, I got no problems with, I'm bullish on, or ones that I have already had, traded, etc. So the way I did this, right? Do your own method, however you want, but this is what I did, is I put in buy limits for 6 different crypto that I liked, and the first 3 that hit those buy limits, those are the 3 I'm going with. It's $1,000. I figured 2 or 3 crypto is more than enough for this small little portfolio experiment, essentially. So the 6 that I put up for it was Aerodrome Finance, Moonwell, Illuvium, Polygon, Filecoin, and Blast. And I'm not going to bother going over the 3 I didn't pick, but if you're curious about, put in the information below and I can do a whole video on other coins that I'm bullish on, even if I don't own them. And I can talk to you a little bit as to why I am. So the 3 that hit the buy limit first was Aerodrome, Moonwell, and Illuvium. So really quickly, what these are and why I liked them for a safe 5x at what I think is the beginning of bull run. I mean, we're waiting any second for Bitcoin to cross 100,000. It might do so before I'm done recording this. So 1, Aerodrome Finance. So this is a base token. It is one of the, I think it's the main utility token of Base, which is ran by Coinbase. All right, so the more Coinbase is used, more specifically anything that is on Base ecosystem is used, Pepe being a big one, all right, is going to raise the Aerodrome price. It is highly inflationary. However, we're only looking at for this bull run for the next, realistically, 3 to what I think is maybe 9 months at the most. I'm not worried about inflation for this purpose. If I was looking for longer term holds or for after the bull run, totally different story. But this one I'm very confident will go up because it's Base. It's also already been up to about 2x of what it is now back in April. And again, it's an eco coin. Almost as safe as you can get. Layer 1s, I would say, is the only thing that's a little bit safer. Moonwell. That is the financial borrowing lending protocol. Essentially for Base. So it does play in essentially right there with Aerodrome. They work hand in hand. They're both Base. They're both backed by Coinbase. Again, about as safe, in my opinion, as you can get. And I want to play mostly safe coins. And then there's Illuvium. I had to throw out there a little bit more of a risky play on this one. It's a smaller market cap, not a tiny micro. Everyone defines it a little differently. It's 250 million market cap last time I looked at it. It was around, I think we got in at like $42. It was as high as up in the 150s, maybe even breached 160 earlier in April. It's gaming. It can be volatile. Everyone's mixed on if gaming is going to be a big narrative this bull run or not. And I'm not sure. I also don't personally invest in too much on the gaming side of it. But I've got faith that this one's going to be able to help add to the 5x potential that I'm confident with. And that's why I went in for it. And whenever most gaming kind of goes together, especially when you have a large game like Illuvium that's been around for a little while. There's actually a couple different games from it. They recently announced their beta, and it is a play to earn. And there's couple of things happening in the gaming ecosystem coming up in January and February, specifically off of Avalanche. I'll keep a little bit of an eye on for this purpose. But these are the 3 I chose. So my methodology, again, we're looking for a safe 5x. I'm not looking to try to push a 10x or as much as I can from this, but I'm going to try to get more than the 5K. But primary goal first, right? Turning 1K into 5K, that's the first goal. From there, we can play. So what did I set? So I made this pretty simple. Each of those 3 coins, when they hit 3x of the price that I got, which I am as confident as I can be in crypto, that's going to hit 3x, I'm selling a third of it. Instantly, that pulls out the initial investment. All right, so for my own portfolio, I do something similar, a little bit different ratios and proportions based off of what coins I use, but this is a simple method. And since we are getting in, not late, but later into the bull run, I wanted to go safe with 3x in the third as opposed to 5x on the first pullout. I want to make sure that we don't lose money. First things first, protect yourself. Because I've heard so many stories of people saying how much money they made, but they never actually sold, so they didn't make it. It was paper money. That almost sounds dumb, but I think you know what I mean. So after each one of them hits triple the price that we bought at, pulling out a third, investments pulled out, now we can trail on. I will change I have sell limits, 3 of them set for each crypto. Actually, I think I have 2 set for Illuvium because there's not too many in there. And I am open to changing the third sell limit on each, just kind of depending on how the market is when we get there. But the goal is to, again, make as much as possible, minimum of 5,000. After I get into the first 2 sell limits, sell essentially about 70% of the coin, then I'm open to trading. And again, that will fully depend on the market at the time and what I feel is the risk assessment, how close or far away from the 5,000 or 7,500 marker, which was kind of the secondary goal. And I'll trade from there. And the way I'm going to trade or look to trade is see what coins have already blasted and what narratives or coins have not. That sounds simple, but let me go ahead and iterate that a little bit more. Let's say Illuvium, because that's gaming and it is a small coin cap. It's the one that's most likely to go volatile. Not necessarily first, but it's probably going to be the one that's more volatile. Because I used the one for trading before when it's a little bit more expensive. Worked out fine. So let's say Illuvium just jumps up from $40 and in X amount of time, it hits $200. Maybe I'll sell of it then. That's the 5x for it. Awesome. Then maybe I see that for some reason Aerodrome hasn't hit yet, or one of the other coins I was looking at, Polygon, or Blast, hasn't really blasted, hasn't really gone up too much yet. Well, then I just made a bunch of money from Illuvium. I can move into the next one to let that go up. I'm not worried about capital gains. I mean, I guess I am. I've accepted it. There's going to be capital gains at this short of a term. So I'm not concerned about trading. Honestly, doing more trades might actually be more beneficial with the short term that I'm doing. Again, we're looking at under a year of this stuff. So also make sure you keep that in mind of what taxes is in your area, because it does play a factor, at least in your profits. You might look and be like, I just made $100,000 and realize you actually just made 60. And again, 60 is awesome. I'll gladly take 60 grand. But realize what you actually have. Because it does play, again, it matters. So I'll be very open to trading, but we'll kind of see how this goes. Depending how it goes in the next week or two, I might do this with my own money, put in another $1,000, and that one I might go, not might. If I do that, I'm going to go much more risky, because I've already got my main plays, already got stuff in, but for a little side experiment to see how risky can I go with $1,000, and can I turn it this late into the bull run into, I'd probably want to go over a 10, probably like a 15x. I might do that. If we have a large dip, which is very possible, I was going to say likely. I think we're going to have one more dip. I don't know how large it is before altcoin season really goes, because I suspect Bitcoin is, well, I thought it was going to hit the 100,000 a little later and test the resistance a couple of times. We could just be sitting here floating at 97 and 99,000 for a while, but at this point it's probably going to go over sooner than not. But there's going to be a line somewhere soon where everyone who bought, not everyone, but a lot of people who bought at 15,000 is going to sell, and it's going to pull Bitcoin down. It'll probably go back up, but after one or two times of that, retail's going to panic, sell, and then floodgates are going to come into the other coins. So people currently are selling their altcoins to buy Bitcoin and memes. You can see it on wallets if you're really curious or want to stare at a bunch of numbers for a while. So eventually it's going to reverse. So as people are selling more altcoins to pay for Bitcoin, there might be another dip. And if there is, that's when I might get into. And if so, I'll do a whole other video of I put $1,000 in, I'm going for a 15x. I've got a few in mind for that one. Again, they will be riskier plays, also never financial advice. So that's what I'm going for this. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this kind of style? Again, this is later in the bull run. This is not the way I'm doing my crypto, but I'm looking at a 3 to 9 month period. I picked 6 coins that I trust, I think are safe, and the first 3 that hit my limits went in, because I don't want to be in too many for this. How would you guys do it? How are you doing it? Have any of you guys recently entered the market with a small amount of funds, and do you have a strategy? No matter what you're doing in the market, do you have a strategy? Is there a method that you have to enter and to exit? It doesn't have to be super detailed, but it does have to be specific, or at least I feel like it does. Because otherwise emotions play, and if it's not written down or you don't understand why you chose something, you're going to break. And that does appear to be one of the main, if not the most common reason people lose money, is they make decisions when they shouldn't. But again, let me know what you guys think. I will keep updated on how this little portfolio goes. I'll probably just call it the $1,000 investment, or 1 to 5K, or I'll put something in there, and we'll make this a little mini series as things goes. I'm not going to update it frequently. I'll only update it when there's something worth updating about. But that's about it. Enjoy the early aspects of the bull run. Protect your own crypto. Do your own research. I'll see you guys soon.